What was it about Cassie's testimony, first of all, that made you want to speak out? And then I want to get to what you observed during these freak-offs. But what was it that made you decide now you want to speak out? Because as I understand, you've been out of the business for quite some time now.
I wanted no attention from this. I thought I would have no say in this, but it was actually the 50 trolling that put my photo out there. First and foremost, I respect the people. When I was in the industry, I respect the individuals first and foremost. I seek no attention from the stories that we shared. So when the photo came out, I was kind of shocked. Just my brother hits me up. So I was like, dude, 50's posted about you. I'm just a small town guy. I don't go out seeking attention and such. So that just kind of opened the floodgate. And then I started to get contacted by sources to give my side of the story. So that first and foremost, I just want to lay it down. Cassie was, through the whole experience, was one of the most cordial, respectful people I could imagine. And for her to show someone like me, when, I looked up to them on a pedestal of somewhat, once I realized who they were, I went into the experience not knowing anything, who they were. But she just treated me, and I see myself as just a small town dude. Don't really, I don't see myself in highlight. And she just showed me the utmost respect from day one. There was a night where Cassie, I didn't understand how they enjoyed my presence, but she sat next to me and she's like, there's just something about you. There's an energy. There's just energy about you. And it just was a moment that kind of shook me. I was just like, thank you. It's like you take it in the moment, just thank you and move and you move on. But like that little statement had a very large effect on my life. Now, I'm a born and raised man of God. I'm a Christian man. So it was a moment where I got to see the Spirit in a time of darkness. And I believe that Diddy saw that in her, and he saw how he could use that, because she did like to serve and please so much, that he could use that in order to satisfy his own desire, in a sense that her goodness, she was satisfied by pleasing him, but it led to a very dark road.
I know I've seen you said that you were hired more than a dozen times for these freak-offs with them. Did you observe any of what she talked about?
I didn't see any physical beating or anything of that nature, but there are times where I'd be in a separate room for 1 to 2 hours where they'd be talking in the other room, business and things, and you could tell the energy elevated and such, but I'm not one to go stick my ear to the door. That's their personal business, whatever it was. But there were other times in the experience when Diddy would leave the area, and I just would, begin to just hey, just talk to her cordially. We're next to each other, and it was a moment of, we can't do anything without him here. It was a freeze up, and it was one where I could see she's a human. She wanted to speak, but she was also one who respected. I could see she understood her role, I guess, in a sense, as I did. I was hired there for a purpose, and I was there to serve my purpose. And I think that I wouldn't say she was controlled by necessarily fear, but rather respect. And, that some of the choices that she made led to this. But I could see that she would not say or do things if she was not allowed to, put it that way.
Did he ever say anything to you, either when you were hired, when the parties were over? Was there ever anything that you perceived as being threatening said towards you? Anything that you look back on as saying, hey, that was a warning from Diddy?
So one time, after I'd seen him quite a few times, he hands me my phone and the cash. And he kind of very subtly lays it down and says, hey, I know everybody, right? And I know everybody's grandma. And I'm just kind of like, the wheels are turning in my head, and I'm one, I don't approach things with fear. So instead of laughing or throwing out something or saying with fear, I just had a rest assured my mind. I just I know people as well. And I just looked him in the eye and said, we're good, man. Hey, I understand. We're all good. And it was one of those where I understood what he was saying, because I do, I understand the industry and I understand the backdoor avenues and such. So it was one of those very subtle.
Intimidation? Does that word come to mind?
Yeah. One of those where, he's standing on his pedestal and I'm down here, and he's like, I know who you know. Yeah. So You kind of see it in mob movies.
Well, first of all, my brother, my king, I'm happy that you turn to God. Remember, the Bible says if you're friend of the world, you're the enemy of God. If you were to read the Bible from the beginning and really follow it, you wouldn't even end up in this position. The Bible is the blueprint of living a righteous, peaceful life. The Bible says flee from sexual immorality. So you wouldn't even be with Diddy's. The Bible says a male shall not sleep with a male as with a woman. The Bible says a lot of things that would keep your soul clean, just like it did to me. I never had sex like Jesus because I kept my innocence. Follow me and I'll lead you to the truth. Even when Hollywood star Christina Milian asked to sleep with me, I said no.
Roger. Tell these
Kingers.
subscribe to the Prophet channel.
I see you what kind of good person you were. Boom, that was it.